How lots XRP do you really need to retire? Hello, beautiful people. We're going to talk approximately XRP and the opportunities of early retirement. You recognize those are the videos that I like making the maximum because of direction. You already know. We are talking approximately what may want to potentially show up. You already know. The fantasies, proper. I like fantasizing, you know, no longer, not properly. Hey? Realize that one's sort of fantasies too, but financial fantasies, and we are going to speak approximately the possibilities. We're going to talk a bit approximately half economic independence, retire early. So all I asked him is, would you provide me a stunning smile to send out the good vibes, smishity break that like button due to the fact likes are for free, and it allows out the channel. So allows get into it. Currently XRP is minus 1.996% on the day, and currently XRP is minus 1.996% on the day. This can be an Evergrande video, so maybe by the time you are watching this, the fee of XRP has gone up plenty, maybe it has gone down loads. Today become a completely thrilling day because Donald Trump announced his meme coin. So maybe you are looking this a year from now and that meme coin is really worth quite a few money. Who is aware of what takes place proper? We're days out of the inauguration. So it's going to be very thrilling. And I saw this tweet, and Alec Former gave me the homage to make this sort of video. It's announcing it's getting increasingly costly to climb up the XRP ranks. So this is largely humans that are in the 0.1 percentile of the XRP holders. There may be some as 595. And of path, the list is going down and down and down, and it's getting harder and more difficult to get into that 10% bracket. This is right there at the back of me. And I'm somewhere between the non-dominato victims and the dominato victims in these pools of rally. I heard at the back of me, and I turned into considering how an awful lot might we really need, right? So do you really need to get into the pinnacle 10%? So currently, proper now to get to the pinnacle 10%, you want 8 of 124 XRP, right? So if we get out the calculator, 8424 divided by using 343, we get 2552 XRP. Might carry you into the 10 percentile. I think that, right, and so I said to myself, okay, let's consider we doubtlessly retire from XRP. Now, there's multiple forms of retirement. There's monetary independence, and there may be monetary independence, retire early. Both of these movements are legitimate. Financial independence is you figure, until 55, and then you definitely collected enough cash, and you could see here you've got made plenty, you retire. So now you've got much less earnings, but your internet worth is already large and you're still investing. So your internet really worth keeps to go up and you are able to both retire or semi-retire and your net worth keeps to develop. The second manner to retire is financial, depending on why you hit your intention and you have a massive lump sum, okay, let's say $1 million. And from that $1 million, you begin taking 4% each single year and you make investments in something in an effort to come up with preferably around 10 to 15% return. And that manner you could keep, being retired, not operating, and stay off of all that lump sum, and it maintains to make enough money. So you make capable of keep your way of living at a static point, right? And then you could see the community starts going down, right? Now that is like intense fireplace. Method you are not investing, you're no longer developing, you're no longer doing something, you're simply retired. You're sitting on a beach and doing not anything, right? So it's type of a way of the retired. Monetary independence, retire. There's a whole movement and there is lots of videos approximately. If you are interested, move down a rabbit hollow after this video and notice if it's top for you. Now you understand most humans have that fable, however, no longer all people. You recognize my father ought to retire. He's 70 now and he's like, well, now he's questioning, ought to he take the social security that he can get now or wait? But then he is pronouncing to himself, wait a second, I can take it this year, after which I can take that money and I can invest it and I could make more money than I could potentially get from the bump of waiting every other year. And he doesn't want to retire. He is persevering to make and create and make investments. And so not all people desires to quote unquote retire. He doesn't work a 9 to 5 anymore. However, he's very, very lively in pursuing all forms of things. But there are people that have been pursuing four forms of things that have been effectively terrorized. And pursuing things, so that is relying on someone. Also, something it's depending is the price of residing. So in case you live in a country that is very, very pricey of direction, you will need loads extra money than a person that's dwelling in one of the cheapest countries that you may retire. Okay, and I went through this list and they pointed out Portugal, which I do not know if it's very cheap. It is, I suppose, a calculation of price of living. First, you realize the coolest manner of existence, right? Malaysia, Spain, right, Costa Rica. But of path, the price of living, in case you move down the list, you could visit, you understand, places that the cost of dwelling is very, very low, and of root in the ones nations, you wouldn't want the same, you understand, you would not want 100,000 greenbacks at 12 months to stay effectively. The other side of the common, if you could benefit greatly, and the way I see it, if we row the reins and we take a view of the buckets to fill them, money always becomes more expensive. So if you could pay with cash, for instance, and hand-cut paper checks rather than money sacks that you sort of write, but in Switzerland or in Hong Kong or in the Bahamas or Singapore, you'll want a considerable amount of cash to retire early. I understand most of you are from US, UK, Australia, Canada. So we're all right here within the pinnacle, shall we say, 25, 50 maximum folks of path. No longer anyone. I know we have some viewers from the Philippines and everywhere in the international, everywhere in the world. Whilst we did the stay flow, currently I noticed what number of places around the sector, and I became simply surprised. So thank you for persevering to observe the motion pictures and subscribing to the channel. Of course, recall this video is for enjoyment purposes, best for fantasy, functions best, and also you must always do your very own due diligence before making a decision to invest. I don't know what the fee of XRP is going to be nowadays, the next day or tomorrow, so it is very, very essential. And to do, not forget, and before we get to the chart there, I just want to remind you that I will in no way contact you on social media asking you to join up to something or to ship me any cash. So highly recommend you tell us where to go and how to get to us. I thought that was very important. So those are scammers. Be very, very cautious out there. I'm most effective, have a Twitter account, and that's it. Okay, so be very careful. Don't click on any links supplying unfastened air jobs or loose NFTs or whatever like that. Okay, let's get to the desk. Now, recently I did a video about how I think that the minimum of the minimum that, you know, a person that is thinking about stepping into XRP of route, you can put, I did the calculation. You can go watch that video, how I got to that number. People were angry at me, how I was given to the quantity. And I changed into wondering that maximum common humans have $10,000 in the crypto market as common. And human beings like, no, it is plenty less, it is a lot more proper. They're changed into, it become a whole controversy inside the comet phase. Like humans have been fighting with every other, it was high quality, it creates engagement. But I placed 601 XRP. Now these days that would be around $2,000 proper. So we're given 321, that is the price that provide or take proper. Today it went up a touch bit due to the fact I up-to-date the table. We are able to position the 323, right? We can alternate this, 23, right? And then it's approximately, yeah, $2,000, a bit underneath. And now the question is, could that $2,000 these days invested in XRP, would that be able to retire you? So I kind of had this in 4 sorts of retirements. We were given lean fire, which is $50,000 annual charges. You realize most nations, that is now not enough. But perhaps you could do it, or maybe do retirement. You realize not a 9 to 5, however, maybe you understand something, 1/2A activity, part-time jobs, something like that. Then we have conventional fire, which is around $100,000 price, you understand, in keeping with you. That's nonetheless, you know, it was once that 100,000 greenbacks. It changed into a completely top center class owned family in the US today. This is no longer the case. Yeah, you want each spouses to be making $100,000 in many states within the US with taxes and all that. So that is a traditional fire, but it's getting at the lower cease of the expenses within the US. Then we fat hearth, that's $250,000, that's already first class. And you recognize it's round proper. In case you get $250,000 divided by using 12, it's about $20,000-ish a month. That's a completely very pleasant profit.